Final score from Carolina, your Kansas City Chiefs, 30, and the Carolina Panthers, 27. In a game where we wanted an easy game to relax and enjoy since the Chiefs were 11.5-point favorites. What happened? Not that at all. My guest right now, well, not my guest, my right-hand man when he's not on my left, my co-anchor of this show, the man that makes it all happen, Harvey Williams. Harvey, we're going to be joined by Kimble Anders later. Harvey, my God, make me feel, but I mean, I'm happy the Chiefs won, right? But they were 11.5-point favorites. They were on the road, but they were still 11.5-point favorites. Tell me why games like this are so close.
Man, because, Kansas City's, defending champs. They the big, big bullies on the block. Every week, man, everybody's coming there trying to kick ass. And, Carolina came in and gave them everything that they wanted. And, it was a fist fight. It was a brawl. And, lot of big plays in this game, man. And at the end, we came out and got that win, bro. So that's, a great win. If you ever think that you're going to blow out an NFL football team, no matter what the record is, because we're all professionals, you're going to be in for a dogfight week in and week out. It's not like, just playing on a little league football and, you got one superior team that's going to kick everybody's ass and blow everybody out. We're in the National Football League. So everybody's getting paid, making a lot of money. And then, for 17 weeks, man, you got to come in and play every week.
So explain this to me and our viewers. When you're the far superior team, and the spread's 11 and 14, whether you're on the road or home, you're the better team.
Right.
How does it mentally? How does things happen to where that team that's the underdog by so many points and they're not that good? How do they hang with you? Is it mental? Does it get into the team that's favored's head that, man, why can't we put these guys away? What's going on? How does that happen, Harvey?
Well, it's two different ways, man. The teams are not that successful and don't have anything to look forward to as playoffs and different things. Like, they ain't got nothing to lose, Shaggy. They play with house money, man. And they go in and let it all hang out like we used to say back in the day. Nobody picking us to win. Let's go, instead of us being a dominant team, let's be a upset team, because everybody is picking Kansas City. And everybody, think that we're not going to win. We don't have a chance. And normally when that happens, the superior team ends up getting beaten. And then on the second half, you whoop, kicking everybody's butt and whooping everybody's ass. And you think that, those guys are going to lay over and, we got an easy win. You're going to patch your stats and you're in the National Football League, and it doesn't happen like that. So, Carolina, hats off, man. The little quarterback, they benched him probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He sat on the sidelines looking at his mistakes, and he looked pretty good today.
Indeed, he did. He looked really good. Wow, I was shocked that the Chiefs only forced 2 punts on defense. The Panthers moved the ball at will. Granted, the Chiefs were able to hold them to 3 field goals inside the red zone, right. And it looked to me on the defensive side of the ball that they did. I mean. It looked like they didn't want it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say what's that? Yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, it just seemed like they were getting blown off the ball, and I don't even think they had a sack.
No, they didn't. I don't think they have.
We're going to look at it. Mike Dana had 1 sack. And that was the only time. That was that.
Yeah, but it wasn't a classic sack. I think he started scrambling and he took off, and the guy, clipped his foot, and he, basically fell in the backfield. But it wasn't, when you get back and you get ready to throw the ball and get hit in the back of your head like that. It wasn't that type of sack. They just, like you said, getting the defense didn't look that good today, man. Carolina spreaded them out and won the one-on-one matches and was running up and down the football field like a track meet. And then it got a little tight when they got inside the red zone, but Carolina exposed a lot of things in our defense today. They went at the the All-Pro number 22 all day. He caught hell today, and I was nervous. I got scared there, doing midway in the game that Carolina's not going to lay down, and they gave us a dogfight today, man.
Right, and let's look at some of these pictures here from the game, and the Chiefs took advantage of Samari Pirine, took the opening kickoff and returned it to the 40-yard line. Then on 3rd and 4, Patrick Mahomes found Noah Gray down the sidelines, who was wide open. Noah Gray caught the touchdown. Chiefs
Right.
three plays into the game. It's 7-0 before we even got comfortable in our love seat. So it was on now. So Noah Gray got his touchdown. Then the Panthers are going a long drive, and they kick a field goal, and now it's 7-3. The Chiefs had to go kick a field goal. The Chiefs had their the next drive. The Chiefs defense, or the Panthers defense, stymied the Chiefs, and Spencer Schrader, the new kicker, added to the team due to Bucker's injury, made a 25-yard field goal. Then it was 10-3. Then let me see what happened then. And then then Noah Gray ended up. Let's just focus on Noah Gray here, because it was 20-9 Chiefs at the half.
Right.
And what can you say about Noah Gray? I mean, Kelsey gets all the kudos and all the props and all the stars and all the Hollywood limelight, but Noah Gray silently, quietly in his 4th year on the team has rebounded to, be a solid backup tight end. What do you think of the game, Harvey?
Man, he played like a number 1 today, man. I don't know, how many years he got left on his contract, but if Kansas City don't pay him, somebody else will. He looked like a number 1. Look like Kelsey in his prime. Runs great routes, man. The first time I saw him, I thought he was a big wide receiver. Did his thing. It's gonna be hard to hold him one-on-one. He's the second coming of Kelsey, and he did his thing. He's one of the guys that we were trying to talk about a couple of weeks ago. The rest of the guys, Kelsey gonna get double teamed, every once in a while. Kelsey looking like an old man right now, man. We all get old, and he don't look that fast coming off the line. It's kind of hard, for a guy his age to get doubled and to get open. So when that started happening, the young guys like Xavier and Gray gonna have to step their game up.
Tony Avila says we need to run the ball more. Our defense is on the field way too long. To Tony's point, I'm going to say I hope when Isaiah Pacheco comes back next Friday, when we play the Raiders on Friday, you hope that the Pacheco-Hunt tandem will show its face there. And David Potter says that Patrick was holding on to the ball too long. He's always looking down the field. I will listen to what David Potter's saying. You would hope he would stand in the pocket and make things in the pocket, but he's had such a great amount of success getting the balls out of the pocket. It's hard to be critical of it, but some quarterbacks do stand in the pocket longer and make things happen. You're welcome, Tony. Appreciate that. What do you think about that, David or Harvey? Do you think Patrick's holding the ball too long?
No, you got to understand one thing, man. When you see quarterbacks holding on the ball too long, they are not getting open. And it's just like you can't just, in the National Football League, man, you think a guy that's like me and you on the screen, right?
Yes.
I'm a wide receiver, you're a DB. In the National Football League, if I'm running this away from you, 10 times out of 10, wide receivers don't get this open in the National Football League, man. It don't happen. So that window, when you throw a ball like this, the 9 times out of 10, the DB or the safety is on top of the guy, and you're looking for a small window to try to squeeze that ball in there. And when you see Patrick Mahomes and see the great quarterbacks that's playing in this era right now, guys have got to get open. Mahomes, when you say Mahomes is holding on to the ball too long, one thing is Mahomes don't want to get hit, and he, damn sure don't want to hold on the ball too long and get hurt. So, when you see that, man, guys are not getting separation. Guys are not coming, coming out there routes, accelerating and getting separation. So that's a lot of what's going on right now. And if you really think about it, who's their number 1 wide receiver right now? You really, Noah Gray showed up today. Travis Kelce, I think he had like 60 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, but those guys are going to start getting a lot more open. Xavier Worthy, I'm going to say it again, world-class sprinter, got to get separation, man. And, it wasn't happening today. So that's why Mahomes was holding on the ball a little too long today. But the guys are not open, so he can't just, throw the ball up. And if he throws 3 or 4 interceptions, they're going to want to put him on, burn him at the stake. So, he's not going to do that. So, he's a great quarterback, but he's not a stupid quarterback.
Yeah, Tara says the defense needs to get their act together. It's definitely a concern that this kid, Bryce Young, was dealing with a lot of adversity, so much so that they thought he might have been a bust. Granted, he did win his last 2 games against the Saints and the New York Giants, but the Saints and the Giants are on decline.
Yes.
But they had a bye to prepare for the game, and they came prepared. All right, David Potter says, why take the sack? Just throw it away. He made 3rd down much longer in the game. Yes, David, I know what you're talking about there when we were trying to kill the clock with 4 minutes left. I didn't like that play either. It didn't need. They didn't need to. They didn't need to run that. But let's look at these stats for today's game. Patrick Mahomes was 27 of 37 for 269 yards. 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. I mean, statistically, he played great and he had that amazing run. Look at he rushed the ball 5 times for 60. I believe 35 yards of that stat was on the game-winning drive that he set up.
Right.
Kareem Hunt had 16 carries for 68 yards. Hardman had 2 for 15. They ran him out of the backfield a couple of times. Samari Pirine had 1 for 13, which was nice. Worthy had 1 for 5. Carson Steele had 1 for 4. And we are definitely going to get Pacheco back next Friday against the Raiders. So we're looking forward to that. Is there anything you want to touch on the running game here, Harvey, in these stats?
I mean, I'm gonna say it again, man. Kareem Hunt gonna come, 16 carries, 68 yards with an average of 4.2. Those are great stats, man. I mean, we're getting chunks, at a clip. He's running tough. He's running hard. He's not tiptoeing. He don't have his stilettos on. He's putting it in there. He's, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna keep saying it, Shaggy. My hat's off to Kareem, man, because he was sitting at home eating popcorn. Now he's, averaging, 20 carries a game and doing his thing. The way I look at it, D Hop didn't show up today. Kelce, got a solid 62 yards for, a 10.3 average. Noah Gray was one of the spotlights, shining lights in our offense today. And then, like I've been telling you, Xavier and the young guys going to have to step up, man. And, we get P-Ron next week. It's going to be, Pacheco coming next week. I think he's going to be a little rusty. Don't expect him to get in there and burn it up. I think we'll have to ease him in. And, I think he's coming back a little too soon. But, I think P-Ron and Steele should get a whole lot more involved instead of, one guy got 2 carries for 11 yards and Steele, 1 for 9. So I think, Kareem Hunt, when Pacheco comes back, I think that's going to help a lot.
Right. I can't wait. John Harrison says the Chiefs ran 26 times for 165 yards. Carolina was dead last at 160 yards a game. They should have probably ran 35 to 40 times today. No pass rush makes the DB struggle. They won, but there are a lot of questions. Thank you very much, John.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
So do you think they probably should have ran the ball better or more often too, Harvey?
Yeah, I think when you run the ball, man, you take the ball out of Mahomes' hand, and it's going to slow the game down. It's going to wear the defense down. I think he's absolutely correct on that point right there. It's going to get tougher and tougher here at the end, man. We didn't think we was going to be in a dogfight today, and from here to the rest of the season, it's going to be that way. So we got to be, tread light and be smart. And keep, getting the W's and start trying. We're not peaking right now, but peak at the right time when playoff time comes.
Right. And Zach Pearson says, "Don't know what's better, no interceptions or a kicker who don't miss." I'll take a kicker who don't miss. Seems like every game comes down to a last score. What do you think, Harvey?
Yeah, absolutely right, what's his name, Zach. He hit it right on, man. No interception, but I'll take a automatic kicker every day, all day, twice on Sundays. And come playoff time, man, come down the stretch, man, we're gonna have a kicker that's gonna hit it right down the middle. And I know, our kicker is out right now, so that's gonna be a weak spot. That's gonna be a sore spot. And we come down to the last few seconds of the game, and we got a guy that nobody's never heard of, and come in and miss an important kick to take us out the playoffs, man. He gonna have to go to the moon. So hopefully we can get our kicker back and get healthy for the second part of the rest of the season.
Spencer Schrader hit the game winner. He was a rookie. We got him off the Jets practice squad. He made a 41-yarder and a 25-yarder, and the game winner was a 31-yarder. Right. People think, well, it's not very long. He made it. It didn't get in his head. It was solid. So, yes, awesome, Tara, for his first game-winning kick, and we're going to have him for a couple more weeks until Butker comes back from his knee injury. So we definitely hope that he can stay consistent, because it's going to be the Chiefs and the Raiders next week. So there's no guarantee that game's going to be a pushover. I mean,
come on, man. You already know Kansas City Raiders. That rivalry. I don't care if both teams were haven't won a game all season. They're going to try to kill each other, man. I've been on both sides of that, and it's pretty intense. And they truly, truly hate each other. When I was Kansas City, I hated the Raiders, and when I was at Raiders, I hated Kansas City. So it's going to be a war. It's about bragging rights. I don't care what the records show. If I can come in and bloody your nose and kick your ass and take your remote, and then go in your refrigerator and start eating all your leftovers, man. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah.
Right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Looks like Vincent DiCarlo said, legacy rival, yes. And the Raiders enjoyed ruining our Christmas last year. Yeah. They ruined it. And so it's the day after Thanksgiving, this game coming up with the Raiders. So I'm sure that the Raiders will be looking forward to ruining our seconds the day after Thanksgiving.
It's not going too good for the Raiders this year, man. They got a lot of things that's going on.
Did they play today, or are they playing right now? I mean, the Chiefs game was ended 20 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders right now.
Yeah, I didn't. When they started losing and doing all that stuff that was going on earlier in the year, man, I try not to watch them because they put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm part of two organizations. One is 10-1, and the other one I don't even know what their record is, because I would rather both of them winning and then come down to this game. I would rather both of them be 10-2 right now, and to keep that rivalry going.
Yes. And okay, Tony, Marty screwed us not running Harvey. Yes, that is a story that we love Harvey and we love him being on the team. Let's get back to this game. John Harrison says, when Carolina had the ball for 8 minutes and 45 seconds out of halftime, 15 plays, 70 yards, that's troubling. It wears the defense out. They couldn't get them off the field. And yes, that was concerning. That was an impressive opening drive, down 20-9. The Panthers went 70 yards in 15 plays and 70 yards. You chewed up 8 minutes and 45 seconds. That is that did wear the defense. And then they finished it by getting the 2-point conversion. So John Harrison is dead on for that, without a doubt.
Man, let me tell you, man, for an offense to hold the ball 8 minutes, man, that is like 2 months and 10 days. That's a long time for somebody to drive the ball down and hold on to the ball that long. When you're on the sidelines and you're watching that's almost let's just watching a 1,000 cuts and you bleeding to death. So I'd rather a team just go down, just score like 1 or 2 plays instead of just just slowly and just 10 here, 15 here, 20 there, and just holding on the ball from 8 to 10 minutes. That's a mind blower, and it's psychological too on defense when when an offense can do that to you.
Right. Noah Groniger says this, our own from Starcade, our brother, our producer, our man, says that the Raiders are up 7-6 right now. Thank you, Noah. All right.
Noah looking like a model right there. That was a pose right there with the picture and stuff. Like he got on lip gloss and
no.
What's up, Noah?
is the man. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show this video because I didn't show it earlier. And you'll know what it is when I show it. It's a real quickie here. It's going to be for our guest that we're going to have on the show here in just a minute or just a second. This was Joe Montana's final touchdown pass in his glorious career at the Miami Dolphins in the playoffs in 1994 on New Year's Eve. Who did it go to? This man. Mitch Oltis, KCFX 101 with the call.
7-7 tie and 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Montana, 5-step drop. Rifles a shot right side. Kimble Anders down the right sideline with the catch inside the 40 of the Dolphins. Breaking tackles 30, 25, 20. Kansas City, the longest play of Kimble Anders' career. Touchdown.
Harvey, before we get to our guest, Kimble Anders, we did the interview an hour before the Chiefs game. I want to ask you this that I didn't get to ask you on the interview that we see. When you saw him come into the locker room, what did you think that he was somebody that was going to blow up? I mean, I know you're a rookie and you're learning from Kimble. I mean, you're learning from Christian Okoye, Barry Word, and Todd McNair, and Billy Jones. What did you think about this guy that was undrafted that was competing in the backfield with you?
Well, like I said earlier, man, when we interviewed him, running backs are like thoroughbreds, man. And, when horses walk in a stall, getting ready for a race, they checking each other out and sizing each other up. And, I know about the two big guys. I knew about Kimble when we were in high school because we come from the same area, like I was saying with Bill Jones, here in Texas, it's a football is a religion. And so we know about each other. And, our icon, our idol is Eric Dickerson. So everybody wants to be Eric Dickerson. And, he said it earlier, Eric was his idol just like it was mine. But when I first saw him, man, he checked all the boxes. He could run. He could catch the ball. He was fast. He could run routes. And the one thing he definitely could do was pass block. And he taught me how to pass block. And, we loved each other. We got along. There was no friction. It was a brotherhood. And, we're brothers. And, I love him. And he's a, Kansas City great, got his name in the Ring of Honor, got his name. So that'll be here until, the end of times. And it's a great accomplishment. His story is truly remarkable. You can make a movie about a guy that, came in and had to come in from the back door and had to work his ass off. And he pulled it off.
All right. With that, this is Kimble Anders on War Chant Wrap Up. Enjoy. We'll meet you on the other side after this is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the great running backs of Kansas City Chiefs history. I got chance to play with this guy when I first got there in 1991. He was one of the first time I walked in the room as a young rookie. It was Christian Okoye, Barry Word, Todd McNair, Kimble Anders. So it was like, you walking in like a thoroughbred walking in and see a whole lot of other great thoroughbreds. And this man was, he brought his lunchbox every day to practice. He showed up on Sundays and on game day. He was one of my teammates, a great teammate. We basically played you say fullback, but Kimble Anders wasn't no fullback. Kimble Anders was a tailback that was playing fullback. You could put him, split him out wide. He could run inside. And one thing that he was good at doing, man, was catching the football. And I prided myself on catching the ball just like Kimble. He was a great running back. He was a great teammate. Everybody welcome Kimble Anders. Welcome to the show, bro.
What's up? Good to see you, man.
You too, man.
Yes, sir.
Kimble, I'm going to be personal here for a second. These two jerseys behind me mean a great deal to me because while I have a closet of Chiefs jerseys throughout the years, these two behind me were the first two jerseys I ever owned. Harvey Williams in 1993 became the starting running back. I met him. He signed my jersey. I was 23. I was happy. And, I was one of the first. I was a season ticket holder from 1991 through 2011. And people asked me, they told me that season, man, we love your Harvey Williams jersey, man. That is super cool. I said, yeah, look, he signed it. And they were enamored of it, people I sit with. And they said, if you ever get another jersey to wear, what would you get? I say Kimble Anders. And I got that, and you signed it. Now, Kimble, I got to talk about this story before moving forward. And I want you to tell me your 1990 season on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad. And I want you to tell our viewers, you're on the practice squad with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and your mailman told you, hey, you should go to Kansas City. I mean, to trust your mailman to bring you to Kansas City in 1991. Just talk about your 1990 season with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, it was a little bit different than that. So what happened, obviously, I came out of college at the University of Houston. I got moved to a slot receiver my senior year, and it was really hard for me because I was a true running back. But unfortunately, I got caught up in the run and shoot offense. And the guys came in, and Chuck Witherspoon, by the way, was a great running back.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of natural for me. Well, it wasn't natural because I've never caught the ball besides screen and stuff out the backfield. However, I got moved to slot that year, caught 115 catches and stuff like that. So with that said, I get, go in undrafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers and go up there and, had a great camp for the most part. But they had some guys back then. It wasn't no free agency or anything like that. You got traded or you got cut, one of the two.
Right.
So the final cut, Coach Noel came in and told me that he think I'm a great player, but right now it's just not the place for me to be, and so he's gonna have to release me, and it went that way. However, I set out a whole year though. It wasn't right then and there. I came into the Chiefs in 1991. So that whole year I came back home to Galveston, Texas, and one of my best friends, Pepper Jr., I was first couple of days I was at the house like, right. Yeah, I was like, what's going on? What I'm gonna do with my life? And a couple of weeks went by and I didn't work out anything. So we started working out again. About 3 months later, 4 months later probably, the mailman came by my house and said, hey, Kimble, I know a guy in Kansas City. Would you be willing to go work out? This is in the off season by then. Will you be willing to go work out and things like that? And I looked at him. I was like, yeah. But I didn't know, if he had any validity to that or whatever.
Right.
3 days later, I get a call from the Chiefs and went up there and I worked out and stayed there for 10 years. So
wow.
Yeah. So it was like one of those deals you just never know.
Right.
Life give you so many different curveballs,
So when did you go to Kansas City? Was it in March, April?
It was in the spring. It was in the off season. It was when they first started they mini camps and OTAs and all the stuff they was doing in 1990. Yeah.
So you're just trying to make the team, and
just trying to. Yeah.
The Chiefs just came off having Christian Okoye in 1990, Barry Word, Todd McNair, and Billy Jones. Then they draft LSU superstar in the first round in Harvey Williams. And now they also added, if you remember, Stump Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
As a running back.
Can you remember Stump?
I talk to Stump every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, hey, old man Stump. I remember when he played for the Cardinals, bro. I was like, I used to watch him when I was a little kid. So
that's what I said.
So you looked at that running back room, and I'm sure there's some names I'm forgetting besides Okoye, Word, Billy Jones, Todd McNair, Stump Mitchell, and the first
James Saxon.
James Saxon. Oh, hey, old man James Saxon too.
Old man.
So when you got here and you saw the room and you saw this kid and Harvey Williams, what did you feel like your competition was going to be to make the team in 1991?
I know it's going to be tough. The one thing, though, I will say, when you're in a room at that level, know the guys there for a reason. You know what I mean? And they all have some skill set. So I was just really trying to work hard as I can to find my skill set and what I can bring to the team. And Harvey can tell you this: I never feared anything. I
never did.
I thrive off of competition. So. That's just part of my whole journey of my life. That the one thing, even from a little league kid, like when I grew up in Galveston, Texas, we go outside and play basketball. I'm in the 8th grade. We played against 25-year-old, 30-year-old guys. So we never looked at that as a threat. So I learned some good life lessons, So that's the way I took the approach in everything I do, even today.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. When I was in high school, man, because we played on Friday nights, man, and I was like, the number one, number two running back in the country. But Saturday mornings, first thing I would go and get the newspapers and look at the stats of the guys that was in my area. And that's the first time I started seeing your name, Kimble Anders from Galveston Ball. So you had been on my radar for a long ass time. And like I said when I first got to Kansas City, man, running backs are like horses. The thoroughbreds. I don't know if you ever been around thoroughbreds, but when they get around other race horses, they like athletes. They checking each other out and measuring themselves and. Christian Okoye and Barry Word, I went through the checklist. I'm like, can't catch, run too still. But when I got the Kimble, I'm like, man, this dude got the same skill set that I have. And I don't know if you remember, Kimble, you taught me how to pass block, bro. So I'm sitting, watching how you would pass block and go in there and stick your head in there. And I'm talking about shaking. When I'm talking about Kimble tell you when most people when they pass block, the guy goes, you get hit and then the guy goes around you. Kimble was stoning people, man, like a stalemate. And Kimble's bottom half is almost like my bottom half with thick, at the bottom, big ass legs, big hips, very flexible in the hips. And you heard what he said they put him in the slot. Same thing when I was at LSU, they put me in the slot, put me a wide receiver in the backfield. And we went down the check. I went down my little check box in my head, man. And Kimble matched me on everything, bro. So, every day, if you think about it, I don't think ever in history it has ever been a football team with that many talented running backs on one team, man. And like I said earlier in previous shows, man, that room, all those guys that was in that room, man, could have went somewhere else in the National Football League and starred and been superstars in those franchises. And Kimble was one of them, man.
Yeah, and with that said, Harvey, so in that room, what I felt the camaraderie we had amongst each other, like the brotherhood was there. The one thing I do miss about football now is having that brotherhood. Like even right now today, me and Harvey ain't talked in years, but we're still brothers though. No matter how they go. And that's what the one thing I do trying to reiterate to the younger generation of the kids. Is this is your brotherhood for life?
Right.
Football is life lessons. So just get ready for it. That's all it really is. It's teaching you so much about life. It ain't just about football, So hopefully a lot of the young guys understand that.
Check it. Let me tell you, so I live in a place called Northgate, man. I got a golf course right behind my house. So I'm like sitting. So the back half of my house is nothing but glass. So I like almost live in a fishbowl, right? So I'm sitting in my living room and I'm looking out and I see this dude walk from we got like a little box where you go get snacks and stuff from there to the tee box. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, I know them ass and legs from, and the way he walked, I'm like, I know, man, that's Kimble, bro. And I walked outside and hey, we went crazy. I jumped the gate, went and we hugged him and I like, man, I know that ass from anybody. That's Kimble Anders right there, bro. That's my dude right there. So that's the last time me and Kimble saw each other, man. It's a funny story.
Hey, we've had Leonard Griffin, defensive end, on, and Kimble, you're the third person from the backfield. We had Todd McNair and Billy Jones on, and what they talked about, what they have talked about in the last couple of weeks is Harvey Williams wanted them to put. Marty Schottenheimer wanted the running backs to put weight on. Were you asked to put specific weight on, or was Marty happy with your weight that you came into the league in?
I was never asked that, to be honest. No, I don't recall Marty ever telling me that anyway. But I was so again, I think at that point I wasn't a big fullback, so I probably needed to put some weight on because Bill was 240.
Hey, stop saying you were a fullback. You weren't no fullback, bro.
I was 215. Hey, I was 215. So could you know what I mean? So
yeah. When you say fullback, I get mad because you wasn't a fullback, bro. You was a tailback, a running back that they made play fullback. When I first got to Kansas City, when I was at LSU, man, I was like 209, 210. Quick as a cat, pretty. High stepping. The first thing I knew when I got there, he told me to gain 30 pounds, bro. So that put a strain on my skill set, when I was in Kansas City. And when I got to the Raiders, Al Davis said, man, get back like you was in college. And I got back down to 205, 206.
Well, I could see that why he said that, because at that time he was used to the Marty ball and he was used to Christian Okoye, 240, 250, and two big guys running downhill full speed every play, but just vertically. They couldn't They couldn't go.
Yeah, they couldn't do nothing.
They didn't have anything that you had in your toolbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he wanted similarity. You know, if you know more, that's how he was. He wanted everything to stay the same.
Stay the same. Yep.
Well, I think I was looking forward to, because what I should have asked Billy Jones was, since you guys are all asked to gain weight, did you guys go out and eat buffets a lot together? Did you guys ever go out and eat together, Kimble, you and Harvey?
Oh yeah,
we hung out, man.
Yeah.
We were brothers. Yeah, it was no not to cut you off, Kimble. Like Kimble just said, man, it was a brotherhood. It was no, even though we all played the same position, it was, you know, Bruce Arians was a great coach, and he made it seem like, you know, we were all like blood brothers, and we stuck together, and you know, BA used to cuss a lot, and he said, you know, it's gonna start at the running backs. You know, we run this MF, this and that, and you know, everything is on our shoulders, and y'all got to set the tone. That's what, you know, he would say to all of us. But we all loved each other, and the great thing about this, and Kimble is sitting right here, we all rooted for each other.
Yeah,
we really did.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you could tell that as fans. You could tell how, you know, from 1991, from really 90 through 93 or till 93, you could tell that you guys were all, you know, Marty would start with the game with Okoye, and if he wasn't hitting it off, he would go to Word. And then if it was the next week, Harvey Williams would be the starter. And, you know, it was so, there was such, I mean, backs by popular demand was huge. And, you know, as is with Harvey and Okoye at Word, but Kimble, you know, your running style was so much, I mean, I won't call it a slasher, because you would glide. You would just glide. You had an ability to just glide to when you had the football, because you weren't leaving people in the dust, but man, you sure did make everybody miss.
Yeah.
So that's where you really excelled at. And you know, I like on the highlights I've been playing on social media this week, you know, the screen pass from Elvis Gerback in Carolina that you took 60 plus yards, you know, you followed your blockers who were downfield on that screen, and you would just glide down the field and make the plays. And it was just, it was just so amazing. What did you like better? Did you like catching passes, or did you like being the running back, Kimble?
Yeah, that's a tough question. So again, Harvey watched me in high school. And in high school, you know, I lined up to be Eric Dickerson. That we ran the SMU offense. Hey, I emulated Eric Dickerson. That's all we did. I rushed for 1,952 yards, 28 touchdowns. We only played half of the game because we So we only played so. But I thought I was just a true running back. You know, unfortunately, you know, it changed once you, like I said, I went to the Houston with Veer offense, and Raymond Tate had some good running backs there at the time. Yeah. And, you know, like I say, unfortunately, when the system started switch coaches, now the West Coast offense was run and shoot was the deal. And that just, you know, it helped me. It helped me develop my game overall, though. I will say that. But, you know, at the same time, it hindered some of my abilities to really be a true runner. So I look at it as I was just a football player, and whatever back it was going to be, whether third down back, you know, you start labeling us third down running back by committee.
Yeah, I hated that. Yeah,
you start coming back, he's a third down back, he's a fullback, so you don't know. But I just feel that I was a complete player, and I think that helped me in the long run to be more complete player. Which now in football, you have to be a complete running back to do everything. So it's one of the trends that probably was started with, you know, Keith Byers and Ronnie Harmon, the guys that I watched when I was coming up. That's once I got to the NFL, start studying the football, really studying, taking time to reference the guys that I can be like, or reference guys that, you know, that you enjoy watching.
Hey man, let me ask you this. I played with a guy that you played with at the University of Houston, guy you just said Chuck Witherspoon. I played with him at the Senior Bowl. Now I've been around both of y'all, bro. There's no way that dude was he? Did y'all play at the same time, or he was the lead back? How did you should have been at the Senior Bowl? It should have been reversed. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, he had a good year. He came in. Okay. He came in from California my sophomore year, and he came to University of Houston. He had a great season. He was a bruiser. He was a straight. He was a short Christian Okoye, but he had so much flexibility. He had balance.
Yes, he did.
he would break tackles. His balance was amazing. So, he lit it up. I mean, he lit it up. He rushed for 1,500 yards, and so
Wow.
I think 2 years in a row. I mean, so you got my hats off to him, and he did what he needed to do, and he came in, and that's why I had to take the back seat and catch some passes. So I caught 100. I caught 100.
Hey, guess what? That's why your name in Arrowhead. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Kimble, what I always talk about is when, especially with Harvey, 1993. It's the spring of 1993. Joe Pendry's gone. They bring in a new offensive coordinator and Paul Hackett. Now, it's Kimble and Harvey in the backfield now. And now that with this new West Coast offense, it's going to be you and Harvey in the backfield. And then on top of that, they bring in the GOAT, Joe Montana. What was that like for you two? We're all spring and summer leading up to where, player introductions, it was Kimble Anders, Harvey Williams, and Joe Montana. Just that whole spring and summer with you two together. And Harvey, I want you to talk about it as well. What was that like, learning that offense and just in the whole Joe Montana drama? What was that like?
Oh man, it truly was amazing because initially, obviously we watched Joe Montana growing up as well, and we seen the things he's capable of doing, and the way the West Coast offense was ran. I thought it was just a great fit for me, for sure, at the time. And what I appreciate about the West Coast offense when we learned it, it was so many tools. Like now, when we trying to coach kids, I know where we at Texas Southern University right now, and we coaching the offense, you don't have a lot of film on that. So we watched a lot of film. We learned so much so quick from the coaches that coached it at that level to be able to understand exactly what the system and how it works and the number system, everything. So the thing about at that level, you got to start understanding what your responsibilities are. And once you understand that, you can play faster. And so it gave me an opportunity to just understand the system and the way Joe Montana took approach to every meeting, everything he done. It was on point. And the coaches, with Coach Jimmy Ray, just the coaching staff was like amazing teachers, you know what I mean? And they really gave us illustration on how to run this offense and how the schemes fit and make that much easier on you, and you can go just play football. So just that challenge and being able to be in the room with Joe and his presence, his calmness, and the things he did. He never really he was Harvey can agree with this, what we call a true pro. When you're a pro and you just go out and do it, because it's a routine. It's something that you're supposed to do. It's not nothing, it's something that we depend on you to do. So that's one thing I had learned about being in the NFL. It's a different beast than playing college and high school football and things of that nature. So you learn how to play consistently, do things right. And that's one thing I think we did pretty well at times. We always had your mistakes here and there, but for the most part, we try to perfect our craft. Yeah.
He, like Kimble hit on every topic, man. When you say Joe Montana, you're talking about an icon, bro. So I was like, it was like, Jesus Christ was coming, the second coming of Jesus Christ when he first got there. I don't know if you remember, Kimble, when he first got there, man, the city went crazy, bro. And I'm like, I'm sitting in a restaurant eating, and then these women, I told Shaq, I thought Godzilla was coming down. It was on the plaza, and people were screaming and hooping and hollering. And I was like, what is going on? Joe Montana is coming to Kansas City. And I'm like, oh shit. Sure. And then I became a fan, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting ready to see this dude in a couple of days. And they flew me in on a private jet, and I just had to go and showed up. It was like during the off season, bro. So I just went to the locker room I think I had a piece of chewing gum or something in my locker room just to be in there when he came in and got a chance to meet him and sat down with him. And he knew exactly who I was. And like Kimble said, man, me and him were starting in the backfield together. But, it was a great feeling to get a chance to, play with a guy that, to me, Elway and Marino was on that level. Then we get Joe Montana. And I thought that was the piece that was going to put us, over the top to win the Super Bowl that year. I really do. And then you forgot, and then Montana was out there not too much longer. Will Marcus came, and here we are.
Did you feel like in the spring and summer that your Kimble and Harvey, your working relationship and friendship got stronger because Billy Jones was gone, because you're going to this new style of offense where Kimble Anders was going to be on the field? I mean, he wasn't on the field much in 91 and 92, but
Right.
93, Kimble Anders' career really took off to where it leads him in the Chiefs Ring of Honor. Did you guys get to know each other? Like, man, we got to make it happen now. It's you and me.
Yeah. Well, I think we would have made it happen. See, my thing is Marty wanted Marcus out there with Joe, and Kimble, he thrived, man. I just think if we'd have stuck with it with me and him out there, because we both could we run inside, outside, and you got two running backs that can pass block. Kimble had great vision. Kimble was fast like me. If you got linebackers that's trying to cover two guys that's coming out the backfield, like that's very, very unique, and you really don't see that. That's rare. And I know nobody could hold me one-on-one, not no linebacker or a safety. Maybe a corner could. And same thing with Kimble, man. Kimble ran routes like a wide receiver. And I think that if we'd have stuck with that, I think we could have won a couple of Super Bowls.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly agree with you on that, because I watched Harvey and also seen him play some of his college games as well. But once he got to the NFL and seen him in person, I mean, this dude was stout. He's like a thoroughbred, you know what I mean? And he's definitely
Appreciate that.
Oh, he was so, I mean, like, he was very elusive. He's quick. He's powerful, and then he had the core body of what you're looking for in a running back, and he did a lot of great things. He done things that you wouldn't expect him to do. He do it better than you would imagine. I mean,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, my brother.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, man.
No, he had that. He had that. I mean, you can't. Some people just don't get that, you know what I mean? When you see football, you know when somebody got it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one thing, I think I had to talk to Harvey one day about certain things that we talked about in situations that, make sure you understood this and do that, and make sure who got your back, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's a responsibility, I would say, even though I was a young veteran. And Chris and them was a little older, and the other guys, and Marcus and them was the guys, but at the same time, football is about the life lesson that you go through, and I want to make sure that Harvey understood the assignment, at a young age.
Yeah, no, you did, bro. Yeah, you and Wild Bill, man, and Todd, us four, we used to hang out and go out together, man. It was just a camaraderie, and just like I said, Shaggy, man, it was no, what we call hating on another guy. That's like my blood brother right there. So when somebody scored, everybody ran. BA made it clear that when somebody scored a touchdown, everybody run out there and celebrate your brother, and root for each other in practice and doing games, man. And then when it comes on game day, man, you laying it on the line for your brother. And for me, it was I didn't want to let Kimble Anders down or Christian Okoye, and vice versa. When you got a chance to, when they called your number, it was time to go out there and kick ass. You went out there and kick ass. And if we lost the game when we came in and watch practice, you going through films, man, you didn't want to be that guy that you get pointed out doing film work, because that was very embarrassing. You miss a block and the quarterback gets sacked, BA will lose his mind. So you didn't want to let the team down.
Right. Kimble, Harvey went to the Raiders, and he showed why he was the number one draft pick in the first two games when Harvey came back as a Raider, and he excelled. And everybody in my section was telling me, "Hey, you're right. You knew he was going to come back." I said, "Man, I told you Harvey was going to come back and play." Kimble, and he played great. Kimble, you went on to excel, and you were a key part of those teams in 95, 96, and 97, where you went to the Pro Bowl 3 years in a row. Wow. I mean, you played the Joe Montana era and the entire Elvis Gerback era. I mean, you were here until 2000. And when finally, and I want to talk about the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are heaping a lot on Kareem Hunt's back. We're getting ready to play the Panthers here in 35 minutes. The Chiefs are really heaping a lot on Kareem Hunt's back. He was off the couch. I mean, he was on the couch first 3 weeks. Now he's brought in, and he's getting 20, 27 carries a game, and he's in his 8th season as a pro. Kimble, in your 9th season as a pro, you were starting running back week 1 and week 2. In week 2, you have 146 yards rushing, and I believe you suffer an Achilles injury. How are you? I'm concerned because I know how things are with the NFL back. They think an NFL back's roughly 5 years. My concern is with the what they're putting on Kareem Hunt's plate going into the Panthers game. Are you concerned that, hey, you better get this guy some spells because he's in his 8th season and you're just cramming the ball, you're giving him the ball too much? Is that a legitimate concern, Kimble?
You know what? Since you mentioned it, I never viewed it at that point. I do think of Kareem. He's a good, strong, powerful runner, and they need a guy like him. They have what's the other guy named Pierce?
Still.
Pacheco.
Pacheco's coming back.
Pacheco coming back.
Yeah.
He's coming back next week.
Yeah, so they got going into today's game in 30 minutes. It's Kimble Anders, Samari P. Ryan, and Carson Steele. But like I said, Kareem Hunt's getting the brunt of the carries, and he was on the couch the first 3 weeks of the season. And do you think that's a concern? Do you think they should split up some more carries with that? Or are they putting too much pressure on him?
I don't think they're putting too much pressure on him. I think he understands his time. He understands what he has to do, and he's prepared. And the one thing I will say about injuries, you can never guess those. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just got to go out there and play. Give everything you got, every single play that you're on that field, because the one thing about the NFL is it's not if you get hurt, it's when you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, it's eventually coming. I wouldn't, because again, I don't count the number, but being smart, like you said, maybe get more, because you got two other backs right now that can relieve him of some plays and make it easier on him not to be, overexerting himself to a certain degree. And I'm sure Andy Reid probably thinking of that as well. I'm sure he's not gonna get 40 carries. I know that. So.
No, I'm gonna put my general manager hat on right now. Just watching him from the 3 games ago, man. It to me looked like he's slowing down a little bit because like I said, he was sitting on his couch, playing Nintendo, PlayStation, eating ice cream, man. And for what he's truly doing is truly amazing for a guy to be sitting at home and come in, the first game and get the ball, 20 times a game, and they feeding it to him. So. Without training camp or anything like that, I think his body is slowly breaking down. They're gonna have to get P. Ryan a little bit more involved, which I think is a stud. He reminds me a little bit of you, Kimble, the body type, but you just a lot faster than him. The kid still with the blonde hair. I think we start talking about a playoff run. I think they need to get those guys a little bit more touches and try to save Kareem, for the playoffs. And then, Pacheco is coming back. I think that's going to be a plus. And, I think they just got another tackle in to help, with the offensive line. So I think, Kansas City is putting the pieces together to try to get ready for the playoff run.
Right. I just, like I said, from 1991 to 1999 was an eternity. And to see Kimble Anders in that brief window, those first 2 weeks of this 1999 season, play it like, oh my God. I knew Kimble Anders was a great fullback. He was a great fullback, and he would glide and make big plays, but I didn't know he was this.
Yeah.
Then after that injury, I was like, man, I wish they would have ran Kimble like this in 96 and 97. Because I just felt like, when you learn more about football, it's not, he's in his 8th, 9th year in the league. And that's probably why it happened. It was just wear and tear. When you look at that, Kimble, did you look at 1999, that injury, to think it was wear and tear? Or do you think it was just a fluke thing?
Honestly, I think it was a fluke thing. I don't think it was too much wear and tear because all those years I was pretty healthy. The only thing I did was probably dislocate a shoulder, sprain my ankle. I always consider myself being pretty healthy throughout the year. So to have, and that, truth be told, when it happened, I had no idea what it was. And I think 1 year prior to that, we just started getting Achilles tendon tears and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I couldn't imagine why it would happen. But like I said, I do believe injuries happen, and that's going to be part of the game. You just never know when they're going to come. It's just a matter of when, for sure. But at that point in my career, like I said, going into my 8th year of getting moved to running back full time, that was a long time coming because I probably should have been there a couple of years before that. So to get the opportunity, I was disappointed when it happened, and was able to not redeem myself, even coming back after the injury. And then I got to add this to Marty was like, obviously being a running back at 34, that's kind of a that's not something
that's an old man, bro. You're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. So I understand it, So
well, you bounced back and you had a great 2000 season, and when they announced you going into the Chiefs Ring of Honor and the Chiefs Hall of Fame, it was well worth it. Clark Hunt, in his speech introducing you at the 2022 draft, announcing that you were welcome into the Chiefs Hall of Fame, it was rightfully so. It was rightfully earned. You were on the bottom of that depth chart when you came in 1991 behind everybody. You're the guy just trying to figure out. You're just trying to make a team, and from what you did from 1991 through 2000 was inspiring. It was inspiring, and to be a fan of yours, like I said, you both have signed the jersey behind me. Those are my first ever Chiefs jerseys when I was a season ticket holder from 91 to 2011. What you did, Kimble, it created everybody who loves underdog stories.
Yes.
Definitely a big fan of yours. And, before we let you go, I got to say what you're doing now. You are the running backs coach for Texas Southern, and this is your first year, right?
The first year, yes.
Okay. And you won. Texas Southern beat Arkansas Pine Bluff yesterday, 31-23. Your running back Quintel Quinn had 154 rushes, 154 yards on 17 carries, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. What can you tell me about your coaching, and what can you tell me about this kid?
Oh man, I tell you what. So Harvey, we got 4 or 5 kids back there. We got a running back by committee. My office. I know my offensive. That's on my offensive coordinator. My offensive coordinator. Coach Dish is the head coach. Chris Dishman is the head coach.
Oh wow.
And Steve, he coached with the Chiefs. He coached with the Cowboys. He coached with a couple of different teams in the NFL and Saints. He's a younger coach. He's in the early 40s, and he's a great, smart guy. So we got the running back by committee deal. So I have like 5 backs that really does really great for us. I think, if I'm not mistaken, each one of them at least had 100 yards. I think only one of them out of the 5 have not crossed that 100-yard mark this season. But overall, Quentin was leading in second place up to week 2 or 3. And unfortunately, he had a little injury, so he didn't get a chance to get the ball as much. But man, just being there, teaching these guys.
Wow.
I never thought I would coach in a million years, So it came about just being, Todd McNair, the guys that helped us out, the ones that was coach. Todd been a coach. Todd was
Hey, I see Todd on the sidelines, when he was at SC, then Tampa Bay. I was just like, man, that's Todd McNair. You would never think that Todd would be a coach, man. But let me ask you something. How do you guys? I'm gonna start labeling you coach. Coach, let me ask you this. How do you guys decide who's starting? Do you make that choice, or the offensive coordinator? I can't even say it.
The offensive coordinator.
Coordinator, yeah, I'm getting tongue tied. Decide who's gonna play and start and playing time. You do that,
Yeah. So as of right now, I have the opportunity to do that. Yeah. So we get an opportunity. I make the call for us who's starting that week. And,
wow.
And I mean, like I say, the guys. So we are trying to turn TSU around. It's gonna be hard to say because I didn't do my research on it. I just found out last night, yesterday, that TSU haven't won over 5 games in the last 13 years, and things of that nature. So we went 5-6 this year. We let a couple get away. So we're trying to build a program and try to get it to a status, at least on the winning side, and swag and championships, and bring in some guys that we believe they can take to the next level. And Harvey, college recruiting and new football is totally different. It is totally different, but it's enjoyable to watch. But at the end of the day, being able to be there for these young men and just share my story and share
Right.
some of the things that I experienced. And like, again, I'm teaching life lessons,
Yeah.
that's what coaching is to me. And so, and if I do nothing else, that's something I believe in, because, and I still have my foundation where I work with kids and be able to get them to understand these life lessons that I've learned, so.
Well, congratulations, bro.
Yeah,
My hats off to you, man. Congratulations, bro. I know you was a great teammate. I know you a great coach. If when it comes to recruiting, if I could, do anything, because I'm from around here. I'm just not down here. If you guys see a kid that you think you can get, man, just let me know, and I'll go out, and try to recruit kids for you guys, man. I love you and I appreciate you, brother. I celebrate you, and thank you for coming on the show.
All right, man. Love you too, bro.
Hey, Kimble, before we get you out of here, I got one last question I like to ask the former Chiefs players. And that is, is there a story that you can share about Harvey Williams publicly? When I ran that by Tom McNair said there's no story that I can share about Harvey publicly, but I can say he's a great guy. So if there's no stories that you can share about Harvey Williams, because we got to keep it on the down low, I understand. But if there's any stories that you can share about Harvey Williams, we'd like to know. Are there any?
Oh, I think it's one funny one. I just can't remember it though. I'm old, so my memory is bad. But it was a funny one though. Like, it was a sideline deal, something that happened on the field where Harvey just did something that was kind of real funny. It's like I can't remember it though. But I think I have one, but I'm about to see you. You should have prepared me beforehand. I probably had a good one.
Hey, was you in there when me and Percy got into that fight?
Yeah.
The Percy Snow fight we experienced with Leonard Griffin.
That might be the one I'm thinking about. It was something that happened.
But anyway, Kimble, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it, brother.
No problem. Thank you.
From Kansas City to Texas Southern, and we can't thank you enough. Like I said, this means a lot to me because Harvey Williams and Kimble Anders were the backs when Joe Montana came in here and turned this organization around. Once again, thank you very much, Kimble Anders.
Oh, thank you,
appreciate you, brother. Hey, man, I'm gonna get your number and stay in touch, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, for sure. All right.
Congratulations, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
That was a great Kimble Anders, man. Yeah. You got to love it. A highlight that I wanted to run past him was the blocking of the offensive line. The blocking for the offensive line really opened up holes. So, Harvey, you ran behind Will Shields and you ran behind Ricky Sigler. I want you to watch this. And you were Tim Grunhard, Dave Sott.
Yeah, all stuff.
Yeah, just tell me what you think about this blocking that led to Kimble Anders' touchdown here. I mean, when you see the we're going to see it at another angle here coming up. But Ricky Sigler and Will Shields, what was it like? I mean, I know you got to run by him too, but watch the blocks here. There's Shields low, and here comes Sigler.
Yeah, great the way Kimble dipped inside and jumped back outside, man. That's you can't teach that. You got to be born with that, man. And that offensive line was big, and all they had to do was kick out and turn up. And you do the rest, and they make that real easy. The way Kimble set that up, man. Then he had the type of speed that if you got 3 or 4 yards on you, you weren't gonna catch him. So he had great vision. He ran tough. He ran like he was a big guy, but he ran big and small. If that makes any sense, he didn't run like Frankenstein. And that's the reason why his name is in the stadium for eternity. So Shields and Sigler, them guys were big guys that played basketball, had great feet, and they could do it all. I wish I could have brought them to the Raiders when I first got to the Raiders. Because, and I probably made a couple of playoff runs with them guys in front, Grunhard and Sigler. And those guys were some horses, man. And I will give Marty credit on our offensive line play, because they came to cover people up and blow people up, and they took it personal. So that's what I missed about Kansas City's offensive line.
Right. Definitely. And, let's get to some of these comments here. Let me see. John Harrison says, I hear these high school stats about, what you went through, and it's amazing how great of athletes NFL guys are. Leo Chanel, career in high school, he had 3,700 rushing yards and 1,300 receiving total, 85 total at TDs and around 400.
Wow.
I mean, what it's, Harvey, you and Patrick Mahomes are in the Texas High School Hall of Fame. You didn't just go on there and it wasn't just something that was given to you. Texas is a big state with a lot of schools. And for you and Patrick Mahomes to be in the Texas Hall of Fame, it means something. I know you said it before, but if you could tell our viewers again, what is it like how do you get into the Texas Hall of Fame? How many stats? How many yards do you have to have? Do you have to start varsity as a freshman? How does it work?
Well, yeah, I started as a freshman. Most guys that, the Billy Sims and the Eric Dickersons and, the Kimble Anders and, Bill Jones that we had on a week ago, man, those guys, put up the stats. You're talking about, between 100 and, 80 touchdowns. And, I ran for, almost, I think like, 6,500, 68. And like Kimble said, man, most of my high school games, especially my junior and senior, I didn't play in the second half. And he said that, the same thing. I don't know why my coaches did that, but, I know now it was, save us, for the end of the season, because, the playoff games in high school football in Texas is when I say I've seen California high school, I've seen Florida, Louisiana, up in Kansas, it's no comparison, man. And if you kicking ass here in Texas in high school, man, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get a D1 scholarship, and then God bless you to take it to the next level. So if you come out of the state of Texas, and I'm gonna say it again, I'm keep on saying it, when it comes to the high school football, there's no other state in America that even comes close to us. So to get that accomplished, Drew Brees came from out of here. A lot of great athletes came out of here and went to the next level. So to do it here is doing it big.
Tara Pearson says, awesome interview. Where is that mailman now? Veach could probably use his help. Let's hope Veach continues to use whatever mailman he has been using to get him his help and bringing in D-Hop. The Chiefs brought DJ Humphries, a Pro Bowl left tackle that's going to be on probably getting some significant playing time moving forward. We don't know if he's going to start in 5 days against the Raiders, but Wanya Morris gave up another couple of big sacks today, and we hope that DJ Humphries has got something left in the tank, because he's 31. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, and he's going to come in here and he's going to eventually get the job, but I don't know how soon before he gets that position. But yes, Tara, thank you very much for the shouts for that video. Kimble Anders' story is definitely an inspiration.
Yes,
and well, let's get to this game, Harvey. What was your Harvey's hell nah of the game?
Nothing illegal about it. His head's in front. Bang! Down he goes. Now look at
man. The hell no for me today was our defense. Didn't look that hot. I'm gonna say like my children say they sucked, and that was we got exposed a lot today. I didn't think Carolina with Bryce Young that was running the ball up and down the field, throwing the ball up and down the field. We didn't get any push up front. We didn't get, I think we had 1 sack, and I don't even remember that. We're going to have to get better, man, on defense. Offense, those young guys are going to have to step up a little bit more what they did. Gray did his thing today. But my hell now for the day is our defense didn't look that hot.
Right. All right. And what was your hip hooray of the game?
It's gonna be Mahomes again, man. The one that he ran up the sidelines, bro. A lot of people don't think Mahomes. It's same for you. Yeah, he got my vote, man. It just looked like he don't look like he's running that fast, Shaggy. But he, at the end of the game, I love when he takes off running, because it's deceiving. It looks like he's not running that fast. I thought he was running out of bounds, and he put his foot in the ground and jumped back inside and went down the sidelines. I don't know how many times we've seen him do that in his career, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna keep on saying it, man. We're watching one of the greats, and when they close the books I think he's going to be the top, quarterback in history that we've ever seen.
You know what Patrick Mahomes has done his first 3 years into the NFL, his arm, his whatever he can get when he can get the ball down the field, it deserves so much respect.
Yes.
That when Patrick Mahomes is able to step around in the pocket and go to his left, he's able to run and see not only the first down marker, but the yards beyond it. I think it was a 32 or a 35-yard run that he just took it and went down the sidelines. He looked like Kimble Anders just running in second gear all the way down the field. Nobody's going to touch him, but there he is. He's making the move. But I think it's because opposing defenses respect his arm length of throwing the football down the field. Now, we got Chiefs Raiders in 5 games. We got Thanksgiving in 4 days. What do you got planned for Thanksgiving, Harvey? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to cook me a big bad turkey that I'm going to go out here and shoot in a couple of days and kill his ass and then bring him back home and pluck him and boil him and I'm going to fry him and then I'm going to do it. I do it big on Thanksgiving, man. A whole lot of family going to be over here. We'll be cooking and eating and watching football, and that's what we do here in Texas, man. What about you?
What are the dogs going to think? All your dogs when you come carrying in this turkey that you just took out. You got 5 big white dogs.
Yeah, They know when November rolls around, man. It's like they writing on a piece of paper and leaving notes around the house. They want who goes the biggest piece of turkey and different things like that. But on Thanksgiving, my dogs eat really good. Thanksgiving leftovers 2 or 3 days later. So they looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's what we do on Thanksgiving.
Chiefs and Raiders. You played for both franchises. They're both the Raiders fly you out every year. They send you a private jet and they fly you and your wife out there for the alumni game. I've seen the pictures you put on your social media. The Raiders organization takes care of you, and I don't blame the Raiders organization for taking care of you because they got you and they showed why you were a number 1 draft pick. But I understand the love for the Raiders that you have, and it makes sense. But the Chiefs drafted you. It's Chiefs. It's Raiders. It's the
intense.
It's Black Friday. It's the first ever Black Friday game. The Raiders aren't having the season that the Chiefs are having. What's going to happen on Friday, Harvey? Talk to me.
Oh, eat, man, and do different things, and have Thanksgiving, and get ready for the game. And people ask me who I root for. I root for both teams. I just want a great, good, close game. First half I have my Raider stuff on. Second half I have my Kansas City stuff on. That's how we really do it. My wife, she loves the Raiders. I love the Raiders, and then my kids love Kansas City. My kids, a couple of my kids live in Kansas City. They diehard Chief fans, and it's just it's a beautiful rivalry between friends and family. And it's I love watching that game. It's very, very special to me because I play for both organizations.
Hell yeah. And while we make a big deal about the Chiefs playing the Panthers closely, because the Chiefs were 11.5-point favorites, they're going to be big favorites over the Raiders. Let's say the spread Friday is 12 points. Are the Chiefs going to cover that spread, or do you think it's going to be 3 or 4 point game?
I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 point. I really do. Pierce is I'm not going to say, he's fighting for his job, but this is what got him the job last year was beating Kansas City. So I think this is going to be the game if he can win and keep his job for another year. And they're going to come out fine, all bullets. I got friends that work for the organization, and it's going to be very, very, very special, and it's going to be very, very personal. So that's how Kansas City roll. That organization, that's how the Raider roll, and it's going to be Raider Nation going to be out in full force. Kansas City going to be out in full force, and it's going to be a great game. It's a game to see, and I love watching it every year, man.
Right. That is another edition of War Chant Wrap Up. Once again, Harvey and I would like to thank our guest, Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor, Kimble Anders. Kimble, as we said to him, thank you very much. It was a great show. Harvey, we're going to get together after the Chiefs Raiders on Friday, after we eat our seconds. We're going to eat the main course on Thursday, and we're going to come back for seconds on Friday and watch the Chiefs game. Come back with us Friday after the Chiefs game on the first ever NFL Black Friday, and we'll break down the Chiefs and the Raiders. Until next Friday, Harvey, you got anything you want to say before we say bye?
Hey, man, love everybody. Everybody keep, watching the show. We're getting great feedback. War Chant is up and coming, and we got big plans and big things to do here in the future. So thank you for watching us, and we're gonna keep bringing the content.
Excellent. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Harvey. Well said, my brother. Until Black Friday, this is Shaggy Shane and Harvey Williams saying, "Go Chiefs!"